Hi, I'm Eric. I found my phone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be listening to Björk's album Vespertine. I got a lot of requests to do this after my reaction to Homogenic, which I'm very happy went well because it was an album I really ended up loving. And so, I'm really excited to see what the follow-up of Homogenic Vespertine really has to offer. This album came out in 2001, so it's been about 20 years now. I don't know exactly what month, so I don't know if we're really close to the 20th anniversary or if he already passed it, but it sounds like it's going to be a lovely time. I would get 12 brand new songs, for me at least, nearly an hour of music on this album, so it will be a longer reaction, I already know. But I'm very excited to really just see how she followed up this amazing album. Thank you so much for requesting this, and without further ado, let's get into it. Track number 1 is Hidden Place. Oh, seems like it's skipping a little bit. I'm not sure what to do with it. Oh, I love how that came in. We go to that hidden place. Ooh. I've been slightly shy. Fingers I was given to touch with. This production, although beautiful, cannot reach its full capacity on speaker. It also makes the lyrics and her voice difficult to decipher. Oh, it seems like her voice is rising. Ooh. Na, na. That was Hidden Place, and that was a beautiful song to start off the album. It was cool and mysterious. Definitely a cozy type song. I don't know. I got winter vibes from the song, even though it's so hot where I am right now. I feel like I'm sweating. So be aware of that, but don't if you don't wanna. But yeah, it's a very interesting sensation. There's a lot of beats on it. When I was looking it up, there's a lot of micro beats that I really can't, hear through a speaker. So I'm hopeful that I will hear those more when I re-listen to the song. Lyrically, it's about escaping with a lover to a hidden place, and this kind of ambient sense of existing on a higher plane with the person you really love. And that's really beautiful. Yeah, it's just overall a really nice, pretty intro. It's a pretty long song, and I know that we are getting into a pretty long album, so it's not something I've fully prepared myself for, but I think this song has helped me work up the tolerance because it is a good song still that I do enjoy, and I definitely can see myself listening to again. Track number 2 is Cocoon. Ooh, that feels really deep. Oh, those beats are gonna sound amazing in headphones. Well, that's already gonna get stuck in my head, honestly. She should say yes. I feel almost like a crackling of fire going on. Oh, I love how she's delivering that with such breath. Really faded out of that percussion beat vibe. So that was Cocoon, and that was a very sonically pleasing song. The beats, the crackling, scratching, I don't know what that was, but it sounded really good. Definitely I feel I'm just at the wrong temperature to listen to this album, honestly. It is just very warm in here, and this feels I want to get near a little fireplace that's lit up, and I definitely don't want to do that in real life right now. It's a beautiful song. Lyrically, it's about intimacy and uses a lot of euphemisms in that, and there's some parts I'm dang, Björk, upon reading the lyrics, but again, the delivery here is a little bit hard to understand her on the first listen, but it definitely seems like a calmer record than Homogenic was. How this song is constructed also reminds me a lot of Jessie Volume 3 by Jacob Collier. I don't even know what song, just the way that he writes music and composes it and the way she writes music and composes it, I feel they would be an amazing collaboration. So I would love to facilitate that, or y'all can do it yourselves. But yeah, another track that I definitely would listen to again. But like, I definitely think that my reaction here is going to be incomplete without like listening in headphones. I feel like that will change my mind about a lot of these songs. Track number 3 is It's Not Up to You. Ooh, I like what we're doing there. I tilt my head, I'm trying to get an angle. For what? I like the production here. It's like a cooler groove. 7 phone calls. Wow. Ooh, muffled vocals. Oh, I do really love how this came in. It feels like a good groove. Not up to you. Oh, I love how she delivered the word sparkles. Oh yes, those muffled vocals again. Perfect. Yes. Oh, I like this choir singing It's Not Up to You. So that was It's Not Up to You, and that was a beautiful song. Like sonically, I just really enjoyed it. Like her vocals sounded like probably the best of the 3 songs so far. Like she just had more belting parts and just like ability for her voice to really shine through. And lyrically, the song is also beautiful. Like it's basically about like you can't really control everything in your life, so the best thing to do is to try your best every day, but not get bogged down by like worrying if you're sticking to the most proper routine, or wondering if you're living the best life you possibly can. Because oftentimes we do try to control a lot of things. I know, at least for me, I do try to control a lot. And realizing that sometimes when you let things go, like you can have a really great day. And like I really enjoy that. Like I think it's a message I need to hear. I feel like it gives me similar feelings that Alarm Call did on Homogenic. And yeah, I'm just overall very pleased with the song. It definitely felt more accessible. It made me feel more connected to the album, just because I think the sonics, at least through speaker, were more connective than the first 2 songs. But we will see how that does, when I listen in headphones. But like this felt a lot like Homogenic in terms of sonic production, but it does still have this, I feel like so far we've had pretty happy songs on this album, and so I feel like it then fits the Vespertine mood as well. Track number 4 is Undo. It's not meant to be what? Oh, shift. You're trying too hard. Not meant to be a struggle. Kind of like It's Not Up to You vibes. It's warmer now. You're telling me. I love the vocals on this and how they're all mixed. I'm praying to be in a generous mood. Is that an elevator ding? I feel like we're ascending somewhere. Undo. Undo what? Oh, this is a pretty outro. So that was Undo, and that was a beautiful song. A very quiet number, definitely one of the songs that really headphones. I keep saying this, like take a sip of water every time that I say like I need to wear headphones, because wow, like this song was very beautiful. Like it's very quiet, and lyrically it seemed like it was going on similar themes of like love and appreciation for oneself. Like it's not meant to be a strife, it's not meant to be a struggle uphill, and so you're trying too hard, you need to just like surrender to life. And like that's a beautiful message. I'm kind of confused with the end, because it seems like she's talking about, like, it says, if you're bleeding, undo. If you're sweating, undo. Like, I don't know if you can really undo decisions in your life, so I'm kind of confused about that. Or like prevent that from happening again, because you can't necessarily prevent yourself from bleeding or sweating or whatever. Like, those are natural body functions or are not normally your fault. So, like, yeah, I wonder really what that ending message is. And if you have any thoughts, please let me know in the comments below. But this song is a nice follow-up. Different, like, sonic textures than It's Not Up to You. But I do really like the message that she's giving in both of these tracks. There's also a cool build at the end that felt like we're ascending into, like, a heaven or, like, some sort of, like, you know, higher afterlife kind of vibe. And so that was really pretty. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a nice touch, and it shows that Björk really can, in fact, make some really cool music. Track number 5 is Pagan Poetry. Ooh, that just went off into a different direction. That feels very galactic and spacey. A blueprint of the pleasure. A secret code carved. Ooh, I love that, like, little, like, sonic choice that goes, like, up and down really quickly. Pagan Poetry. Oh, that's just gonna sound so amazing in headphones. Just the high beats. More muffled vocals, but layered with, like, very prominent vocals. Oh, I can feel the emotion in her voice. And now it's got me moving, just grooving. Oh, she's just singing a cappella, I love him. Now she loves him. Okay. I'm gonna keep it to myself? What? You just released an album with this. Okay. So that was Pagan Poetry, and that was a beautiful song. I was enraptured. And, like, just like It's Not Up to You and Undo, like, all those songs are over 5 minutes, but I was captured the whole time, and that's really just impressive. I feel like songs that are that long should try to do that. And those 3 are all very successful in the first listen, which is really awesome. I also just really love sonically, like, the twinkly sounds. Like, I think it's a music box or something like that. Like, it sounds so beautiful. I'm really just in awe and in love with that. Lyrically, it seems like it's about intimacy, but also just about, like, dealing with her physical and emotional desires, and, like, how, you know, society and her mind tells her, oh, you have to be like this sort of person, but, like, her physicality, her heart, her body, if you will, wants her, and is pulling her in a different direction, especially in regards with her partner, who seems to be very good at that part of that. Don't know how he was on the other end of it. I know it's just T because of Genius lyrics, by the way. But, like, very interesting. Yeah, I think that's a very interesting topic to think about, like, how society has treated intimacy for you and has talked about it, and how you actually personally experience it. And yeah, I would love to hear more about this. This seems like it's one of the more popular tracks on this album, and I think for good reason. I think sonically and lyrically, they're very impactful messages, and yeah, I'm excited to listen to it some more. Track number 6 is Frosti. This song is under 2 minutes, so I feel like we're going straight from, like, title, Fiona Apple, to, like, some sort of Mitski project. Oh, well, that's beautiful. I feel like I'm in a dreamlike state with this song. Ooh, I think some deeper instruments got put in, and it feels really good. Oh, I just love how beautiful this song is. I'm entranced. So that was Frosti, and it went right into the next song. So definitely very interlude-like. The instrumental, no lyrics, but it is so beautiful. I could see me putting this as like a ringtone if I actually ever turn my phone off of vibrate. And maybe, you know, maybe I can use it as an alarm. Although, like, Björk really creating so many songs that could be easily like an alarm, like alarm call, for example. Or for those aggressive times, you should use Pluto. But like, wow, that was really pretty. I just really enjoyed it. It was a nice time. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. I mean, it just seems very, very pretty. It's just really just like captivating. I think it's the music box or whatever instrument or way of creating that sound was used was perfect. I would love to know if you know. And I'm excited to hear what this basically interlude takes us into next. Track number 7 is Aurora. Okay, seems like a little bit of static is coming in. Oh, yeah, it slowed down a lot. Twilight, but sounds much beltier. Wait, what's going on here? This sounds really nice and unexpected. This feels very much derived from like her Icelandic background. I'm kind of growing obsessed with these sonics. Oh, I love how the vocals are getting projected like this. Oh, that just faded out in a very pretty way. So that was Aurora, and that was a very pretty song. Like, definitely got us back into Björk singing, and lovely singing at that. And sonically, yeah, it's just very appealing in terms of her belting. The percussiveness is great. I think the music box, and that's just what I'm going to call the twinkling stuff. And then if I'm wrong, feel free to just correct me down below. But like the music box stuff got nicely interwoven, and it felt nice. It felt like it worked. And lyrically, the song seems to be about a like memory she had of when she was a kid and she was climbing a glacier and she fell on her knees, and to help with the pain she filled her mouth with like snow. But there's also, especially in relation to a lot of the other songs on this record, that seems like there could be suggestive themes. I'm not going to go that deep into it because especially if it's a childhood memory, I don't want to associate those two things together. But I did think it was very interesting of her like looking for auroras, because auroras are random and like you can predict them, but like they don't always happen. Like for me, I actually went to Iceland and I was hoping to see the Northern Lights, and I actually did. And the guy who's giving the Aurora tour actually said it was the best it had been the entire season. And like it was just so beautiful. And like, so I relate to this song in terms of the notion of like looking for an aurora, because it's a beautiful phenomenon. Like definitely check it out if you haven't. Find videos on the internet, pictures, what have you, however you can get it. But the aurora here, it seems like she's looking for hope and peace with her relationship. Her relationship started off very simple, but like especially with Pagan Poetry, it seems like there might be a little bit of tension in terms of like her physical well-being versus her emotional well-being. And so she's trying to, you know, rectify that and, you know, find an aurora, or kind of like, oh, something that will solve everything. But it isn't always that simple. Much like most of the other songs in this album, Take a Sip of Water, Time, but I will need to listen to the song in headphones to get a full appreciation of the song. Track number 8 is An Echo, a Stain. Oh, that feels like a spaceship. Oh, this is much quirkier. Feels like distortion, bubbles, a lot of different things. This feels a lot closer to earlier parts of the album than what we just heard. Ooh, I feel like we shifted a little bit with her like yelling. Oh, I love how she said staying there. Say nothing. Free falling. Oh. So that was an Echo, a Stain, and that was a very distinct song. Definitely felt very different than some of the tracks we had heard before. It felt similar sonically actually to the first two songs, but like those first two songs didn't really grab me nearly as much as this middle part of the album had. So I'm trying to like work with that. It's definitely something that was, you know, much more focused on the sonics than the lyrics, because the lyrics are delivered so slowly. Like when I lift them up, I was like, wait, there's not that much in here. And it's because really like she's delivering them so slowly throughout this, you know, production. And the song like is something I definitely need to get used to. It's Guy Sigsworth, which I really loved his work on Flavors of Entanglement, but like this doesn't sound like Flavors of Entanglement much at all. Feels very different, but like, you know, at least he's versatile. Lyrically, I'm also confused about the song. Like apparently a lot of lyrics are taken from like this one play, and it doesn't give a lot of context in that play itself. And it seems like for Björk, she's also not giving much context to it. There's not much annotations on Genius either. So I'm personally pretty confused with this song. It also gives me almost like a sense of Nighttime My Time, the title track by Sky Fiera, about like how just like dark and like how like detached a lot of the vocals, like the lyrics themselves, are from the production of the song. Like I'm kind of confused. It feels like we're just really echoing sonic themes from before, but I really don't understand what we're lyrically like figuring out. Track number 9 is Sun in My Mouth. Ooh, Storm Time. Ooh, I like the groove we're getting. I will take the sun in my mouth. What does that mean? I am very much like getting moved by the song. Oh, it feels like we slowed. Oh, power. Oh, these vocals are so pretty, so delicate. It's just so beautiful. That was Sun in My Mouth, and that was a sonically very pretty song. Similar to Aurora, like it definitely gave me like natural feeling. And I guess that has to do with, you know, Aurora is a natural phenomenon and the sun is also a natural phenomenon. So I guess it works. And like it's a pretty song. It was pretty short. So again, after you're dealing with a lot of 4 and 5 minute songs, it makes it a little harder to process a shorter song. So I'll definitely have to just listen to it again. But lyrically, the lyrics are adapted from an E.E. Cummings poem. So that felt, I don't know, it's all was like one stanza, which felt different than like the detachment of like the play that was in An Echo, a Stain. And I just felt like I vibed with it more, honestly. Like it was chill. Yeah, it's definitely about intimacy, maybe some self-pleasure, but definitely like referencing nature and then like the body at the same time. And I feel like while like Homogenic was very much like nature and incorporating that into one's identity, like this has definitely taken a intimate twist. And like it's really interesting, this album is. And yeah, I'm vibing with this song. I don't think it's gonna be my favorite on the album, but like I don't want to count it out by any means. Track number 10 is Heirloom. Oh, so we got a groove going on. Feels like a fun, funky metronome. I have a recurring dream. What's it about, Björk? I like how her voice sounds, but I can't understand what she's singing. wide open throat. Girl, what are you talking about? You're swallowing warm glowing lights. Is that a euphemism? Makes me feel so much better. We have a recurring dream. Who else? We're asleep. Warm glowing oil into the throat. Okay. This production sounds amazing now. It's gonna sound even more amazing again in headphones. So that was Heirloom, and that was a very sonically appealing song. I really liked the groove that we got into. It definitely was moving me, and yeah, I really vibed with it. Like they had some cool beats coming in. Micro beats gonna sound great, and yeah, I definitely was just vibing to the song and could have that keep going on and on. So like, it did really well. Lyrically, it tells about a dream that Björk had, which I feel like if anyone's gonna come up with a song based on a dream, it's gonna be Björk, and it's gonna sound really good because Björk. And like, it's a very interesting dream. So I don't know if there's that much symbolism, because it might just be like her telling a dream. But apparently she has a recurring dream where she loses her voice, but she swallows these little lights that her mother and son baked for her. I don't know what that means, but like, I guess it just means what it would mean in a dreamlike state. And like, I think that's kind of like her talking about singing, because apparently it makes her feel so much better, and like finding her voice and the care she gets from her family like helps her to become a better artist and better person and find her way. And I think that's what it might be about, but like, I'm definitely open to other interpretations because I'm a little confused personally. But it is a beautiful song sonically. I can definitely see myself listening to this song again. If not, maybe for like confusing lyrics, definitely for the sonics of it. It sounds very pretty and very enjoyable. I also am curious about the transition from I have a recurring dream to we have a recurrent dream. Like, who's the we? Is this a relationship? Is this like me as a fan connecting to Björk the artist? I have no idea. The sense of communalism that it seems like she's trying to spread in this otherwise like pretty intimate and very personal introverted album, like maybe that's what that's about, but I don't know. So also let me know. Track number 11, Harm of Will. I feel like we're gonna get serenaded with a symphony. Feels like we're getting that skipping sensation that we had before. Ooh, that sounds like a mallet percussion. Perhaps a vibraphone? Probably a vibraphone. She's under him? Oh, I feel like we're building. Ooh, we're rising. Ooh, is that a choir back there? They're rising and ascending too. Wow, we got silence for a second. He made his face known to who? All will know? Okay. So that was Harm of Will. And sonically, like, I enjoyed it. I don't remember much of it, honestly. I think I am getting... It's a long album, and it's late, and I've had a lot of finals and stuff like that this week. So, honestly, I don't recall what it sounds like now. Now that I've looked up lyrics, it has faded from my memory. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means, like, it was not so memorable enough for me to have like a semblance in my head after one listen. enough to counteract those other very strong forces that are working against it. Lyrically, the song is about like this guy who apparently gets around and is not afraid of not having commitment. Um, he does not have commitment. And it seems like she's telling the story from the perspective of this man and saying, like, I have all this power for on women, and like I do not have to have a commitment and I have no plans to. And like it seems like he wears some sort of disguise so that like no one will know who he is. And it switches from a he to me kind of thing. There's also some she's. So very interesting song. Not the type of song. I guess in terms of intimacy, it makes sense that like this song is on the album, but most of the album before, like it seemed like it was about more of her personally and just like her sort of experience with her partner, and at least telling it from that style. But this feels much more like a narrative, a more of a storyline that does not actually involve her, but maybe it does. I'm, maybe I'm judging too much, but like, yeah, I don't know. It feels like we've ventured a little into a different direction, but I'm okay with that. If I have thoughts about the Sonics that I could not, remember because of how late it is, then I will put that up here right now. Track number 12, last track on this album, Unison, and is nearly 7 minutes. So I am hoping it's something that will bring us out with a bang, something quite strong. Oh, we're starting with basically nothing. Okay, a little bit of production getting added. Oh, this is cute. I like this production now. You discipline her. What? I can obey all your rules. Oh, this feels submissive. Oh, shoot. That's gonna wake me up. I never thought I would compromise. Is she settling or is she surrendering? I love this part sonically. I have no idea what she's singing though. This is moving me. I love an outro that moves. Ooh, they funkified. Wee, wee, wee. I like that. Okay, Björk, you're showing off a little bit with those vocal chops. Well, I think that's the harp in the background, going with whatever beats these are. Oh wow, just like that, it ends. So that was Unison, and a great way to end the album. Like, it is long, I'll give it that, and maybe it could get trimmed down a little bit, but sonically, it is beautiful. It has so many different, like, layers and movements. Like, there's definitely, like, a part A, part B, part C, and, like, that's really cool. I think if your song is gonna be that long and doesn't have some, like, very clear emotional climax, you have to have it constantly changing. You can't just do like a 6 or 7 minute song that is all the same, without having something that really will keep you focused and engaged. And it is beautiful. It had me closing my eyes, honestly, and I just vibed to it. Like, it was really just a good time. Lyrically, it seems like we're going into recurring themes of like love and uniting together. She wants to be with this person in unison, like rather than being two separate lovers, acting as one unit. And that's really like sweet and kind. And like it also talks about like how in the past she wanted to retain some of her like freedom and autonomy, but now she's like, I'm in such a loving relationship that I'm able to do that while also being like a little bit on the submissive side and following her lover's lead, like together, like they're still a collective unit, but she's allowing herself to let go of some of that control. It's not up to her, I guess, but I think here it is up to her. And like I feel like that's nice because it ties that theme of like love from before with also the It's Not Up to You and Undo, like that self-love and giving yourself self-love by having another person also love you as well. Definitely a heartwarming message. I vibe with it. It's a good time. Like, I can see myself listening to this again. I think this album as a whole, I probably think of it more as like an album you put on in the background rather than an album I would pick individual songs from, just because of how nicely they mold together. And also, like, you're just not gonna find me listening to a 7-minute song by itself. It just really isn't gonna happen, unless there's like a big reason for that. But like, as of late, no, not really. But I do think this is a great way to close the album. It feels very similar to the All Is Full of Love. Like, she ends both of those albums on a very positive note, on a very ethereal, aesthetically pleasing, like sonically beautiful and light note. And, you know, it makes you have like a warmness in your heart, like as you end the project, which makes you maybe want to listen to it again or listen to another project by her. It just leaves you feeling good and gives you like a nice impression of the album. It's not haunting by any means. It's like actually just really like getting a nice hug from Björk. With that said, we have finished this album, and I'm just very tired, but not because the album, like, it made me tired in the fact that like the album is like, it's meant to be listened to in the evening. Like, it's meant to have that feeling of in the nighttime when you are a little bit tired, but it's supposed to make you feel like cozy inside with the beats and listening to that in your headphones, just chilling at night. Like, it's not supposed to be that type of vibe. I think it's a little bit the heat, my personal stress, and like some probably other external factors. Probably also just filming rather than listening to the project all the way through. That has just made me exhausted listening to this instead of like, you know, being able to be fully thrilled the whole time. And that's not on Björk. That's really not on Björk. That's on my external factors. Because I know, especially the middle of this album, like, it's a slam dunk. Like, I enjoy it. It's a fun time. You can tell that Björk is very, like, just sonically really good at what she does. Like, she produced it well. Her producers also really helped to make it amazing. And, like, it's just very impressive altogether. Like, it's such a different record than Homogenic, but like at the same time, it's similar in terms of quality in that they both are just really amazing records that really, like, I hope have influenced the music of today, and I hope continues to influence music of today because it sounds so good. Like, this album, when I listen to it, I'm almost certain that it's gonna sound just as good, if not better, than some random album that comes out like today. Like, so that's just really impressive that like she can really like do something that's like so cool and sound so good. And I'm just really excited to listen to it again when I'm, you know, in the right mood for it. It definitely is a much more intimate album in terms of like the intimacy aspect of itself, but also just in terms of it's much more minimalist and quiet than like songs, you know, like Joga or Pluto. Like, you know, like those were very much more maximalist. And I feel like this is supposed to be like a quieter album, and that's like cool. Like, I like that she's not a one-trick pony by any means. Like, I mean, I also listen to Post, and so I know she's definitely like can do whatever the heck she wants. Like, she has so many different sounds. All her albums that I've heard so far sound very different. So I'm very excited to, in the future, if you want me to react to more Björk albums, like see how those sounds completely differ from these. I think there are a few songs on this record that I might like, but I don't love as much, and they also seem like sometimes a departure from the overall theme of like the self-love as well as like loving a partner so deeply. Like, for example, An Echo of Stain, Sun in My Mouth a little bit, like Harm of Will. I'm kind of confused about those songs in particular, like in terms of their messaging and how they relate to the overall message of the album. Like, Homogenic just felt like we had a very big story, and I feel like Vespertine for the most part does have a very strong narrative, but there's a lot of detours, like at least a few. And so like I think you know, not listening to those ones, or, you know, like if they had been shaped message wise differently, might make for a little bit more of a cohesive project. But all in all, I'm still very impressed with this record. I'm very excited to hopefully listen to more Björk albums in the future, and also just to listen to this album again in the right mood and environment for it. With that said, here are some of my favorites to the top tier, the songs I love, the standouts, the ones I'm going to be playing over and over. Songs in the middle are the songs I like. I'm going to add them to my playlist, but they might not be the top of the top. And then songs at the bottom are just not my thing. Doesn't mean they're a bad song, doesn't mean they can't be your favorite song. It just means it's probably not for me. And that's totally okay. We can have different opinions. Like, again, this album came out like 20 years ago, so it might not be the taste for someone who was just like 2 years old at that time. If you like this video, please like it, was comment down below. Would you like me to react or listen to next? Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Just smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Just smile big, open